What's up, my comic comrades? It's time for another How Powerful Is episode, and today we're taking a look at the master of the green, Swamp Thing. Like I say for all of our How Powerful Is episodes, we're not going to list every single instance of strength and power that particular character has shown. I'm just going to give you guys enough examples to really drive home how powerful Swamp Thing is. So with that said, there's no time like the present, so let's dive in. Off the bat, you need to know where Swamp Thing draws his power from in order to understand why and how this dude is so strong. Swamp Thing draws all of his powers from the green, which basically is the metaphysical elemental realm that's connected to all plant life on Earth. But it doesn't end there. It's also connected to the universe and creation as a whole, which is inhabited by the collective mind of the Parliament of Trees. With that said, Swamp Thing is the green's elemental. What this means is he's essentially the green's bodyguard, a being who wields and embodies the power of the green to protect it from various threats. Now that you know that, let's talk about some of his feats, starting with his main ability, which would be his regeneration or healing factor, if you will. Swamp Thing has hands down one of the best healing factors or regeneration abilities in all of comic books. He's literally reformed from being shot at with machine guns or rockets, dismembered and burnt, and even blown up. But for me, the most impressive regeneration feat Swamp Thing has ever had was when he survived the Anti-Monitor's anti-wave. Keep in mind that the Anti-Monitor was also at peak power at this point in time, and ended up destroying the entire multiverse. Not the Earth, the multiverse. And Swamp Thing survived this with his regeneration abilities like no big deal. Swamp Thing's regenerating abilities are so good because as long as the smallest bit of green still exists, he can regenerate. So unless you could somehow get rid of the green, aka a metaphysical realm connected to all of reality, you can't kill Swamp Thing. What I'm saying is good luck trying to kill him because it was something not even the Anti-Monitor could do. Swamp Thing is so badass he could even hold his own against Superman, like when they fought in pre-Crisis continuity. Superman literally crushed Swamp Thing's hand, but of course he just grew it back in a few seconds. Superman then uses heat vision on him, but again, he just grew back the missing chunk of his leg. Ultimately, Swamp Thing used the green to calm down Superman, as Superman clearly wasn't himself at this moment in time, having a severe fever, hence him going at Swamp Thing. In any case, Swamp Thing literally grabs Superman's hand and says, "By cool darkness, by endless green." And just like that, the green gets rid of Superman's fever, while Swamp Thing is literally rocking Superman to sleep like a baby. On another occasion, Swamp Thing also outclassed the John Byrne era Superman. How did he do this, you ask? Well, by attacking Superman at light speed. Basically, Swamp Thing was trapped in Superman's X-ray vision, which at that moment in time was strong enough to raise havoc with any magnetic field. Anyway, Superman says, "I'm making my job to keep tabs on beings with extraordinary power. I'm also familiar with how you trashed Gotham City last year. I don't allow that kind of thing to happen in Metropolis. Not even to LexCorp, so whatever business you have with Luthor, I suggest you find somewhere else to play it out. And you might as well stop squirming, because simple physics dictate that an electric current cannot pass through X-rays unless it's traveling at the speed of light." Then Swamp Thing breaks free because guess what? He's able to travel at the speed of light. Now, if you've been reading comics for any decent amount of time, you're familiar with the demon Anton Arcane. If not, this is how strong Arcane is. The Monitor himself compared his strength and power to Trigon and the Spectre. You know, two of the most powerful beings in the DC universe. Anyway, you may be asking yourself, why am I bringing this up? Well, because Swamp Thing easily defeated Anton Arcane, which is insane, as Arcane is at least a universal threat. Keeping this list moving, here's a quick one. Phantom Stranger once stated that even hell itself wouldn't want to challenge Swamp Thing, as war with the Elemental Kingdom wouldn't be a cakewalk for them, let's just say. Now here's a really disgusting one. Once upon a time, Swamp Thing manipulated the flora inside of a man's gut to turn this man into a tree from the inside out. Yeah. Talk about body horror. But now it's time to kick things into full crazy town, my friends, starting with this next one, where Swamp Thing once embodied all four elements and became the whole world. You heard me. I said what I said. Swamp Thing also once manipulated the quantum stream vibrations that make up everything. Once he does this, he takes Metron, you know, the guy who sits on the Mobius chair, through the green, heaven, and into the source itself. If taking him through the green and heaven wasn't enough, which is already ungodly insane, he took him through the source, which is literally the source of everything for the DC universe. It's basically the end-all be-all as far as DC goes. Oh, and I also have to mention that Swamp Thing was acting as the Mobius chair at this point in time as well. Metron was literally sitting on him. Then, you have the time Swamp Thing grew larger than an entire island and proceeded to crush said island between his hands while yelling, "I am Swamp Thing." Keeping the Swamp Thing train rolling, here's an extremely crazy one. Swamp Thing once warped and remade all of the green in his own image with a single gesture. Dude was like, God made Earth and man in his own image. Now it's time for me to take a crack at it. Now here's probably one of the most badass moments on this list. The time Swamp Thing was talking to Aquaman about the plants at the bottom of the ocean. Basically, Swamp Thing and Aquaman got into a confrontation, at which point Aquaman says, "I have a realm to protect. Do not enter it again without my permission." Then Swamp Thing replies, "Plants predate people down here by billions of years. This is my kingdom more than it is yours. For the moment, I'm happy to share it, but don't push it." As Swamp Thing disappears into the green, Swamp Thing basically just told Aquaman, even though you're the king of the 7 seas, all the water it sits on top of is earth and plants. Meaning this is my kingdom more than it is yours. I just share it with you because I'm a nice guy, but don't push it. It's easily one of the most badass mic drop moments Swamp Thing has ever had. Swamp Thing and Aquaman actually got into it on another occasion where Aquaman was attacking Swamp Thing. So Swamp Thing just used the plants from the earth to restrain him when they were fighting. Swamp Thing then says to him, "When you fight me, you fight the plant life of the whole world. So drop the show of force. It's a battle you can never win." I'm telling you guys, Swamp Thing is a highly underrated character. If you've never read Swamp Thing or know anything about him, check out our History of Swamp Thing episode right here. We give you guys a bunch of reading recommendations towards the end of that episode, and you're definitely gonna wanna check them out. Now, there's way more Swamp Thing moments and feats we could mention, but we're gonna end on one final one that deals with Batman because it's pretty epic. And that's the time Batman referred to Swamp Thing as an unbeatable god. Basically what happens is Batman rolls up to Arkham Asylum that's covered in vines and plant life, to which he says, "I pray that it's Isley. Last time I saw something like this, the source wasn't an unstoppable ego freak with daddy issues and an insatiable libido. The source was very much a god, very much an unbeatable god." And both the word pray and unbeatable are in capitalized letters, emphasizing Batman's seriousness on how he really hopes this isn't Swamp Thing because he's an unbeatable god. And if anyone would know how to beat somebody, it's Batman. The guy literally has a contingency plan for everything, but apparently he says Swamp Thing is unbeatable. Also, side note, he said that Poison Ivy has an insatiable libido. We keep this show family friendly, but just know I have all sorts of jokes. But there you have it, my comic comrades. I hope this episode really showed you just how powerful Swamp Thing is. But let us know what you think of Swamp Thing and what other how powerful episodes you'd like to see in the comment section down below. And just like that, my comic comrades, that brings today's episode to a close. But if you like the channel, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. It always helps us out. And if you like today's video, be sure to check out this one right here. But I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.